Hi, welcome to Bushido Mindset Podcast. My name is Gonzalez, your host. Today, I have my friend Raul Prieto.
Hello.
I love talking to him. Today, we're going to talk about water. Water. What kind of water is good for you? The subject's going to be water today. And Raul, his body, his mind, his spirit transformed by just his journey to a better health, a better being, started with water. Okay? Now, before we start, I want to say a poem about water. I want to say the famous Bruce Lee poem about water. It goes like this. Empty your mind. Become formless, shapeless, like water. If you put water into a teacup, it becomes a teacup. If you put water into a bottle, it becomes a bottle. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Now, water in the past has many spiritual principles. Now, you don't become water, you're made out of water. Okay? You, through your lifetime, you drink more than 13,000 gallons of water. Now, with that said, let's talk about water.
H2O, water. Well, the water that I guess that we're going to be talking about today is called distilled water. There are many forms of water that you can drink. You have your tap water, you have your bottled water, you have your mineral water. You have all these different types of water. People now bottling water and doing all these crazy things with water and trying to sell you water.
There is river water, lake water, snow water, ocean water, rainwater, tap water, right?
All sorts.
Bottled water. I mean, you can go on and on and on, and there's a confusion because, which is the best one?
Correct. Which is the purest one, the one that's gonna benefit the human body, benefit the animals, benefit nature, which of all these are the most beneficiary. And luckily, 4 years ago when I met this man, he did a little seminar at his school. I just started my son at the school, so it was just like maybe 4 months in, 5 months in, and he did a seminar of how to rejuvenate the body, to have more energy, and to have all these things. And at that point in my life, dude, I had zero energy. I was overweight. I was in a terrible condition. And so I thought about it.
No, he's one of my disciples because I started to say, you know what? I have accumulated all this knowledge to the martial arts, to studying, I'm a seeker of the truth. And I'm saying to myself, I got to share this. I got to start helping people, not just in the martial arts, teach them how to fight and all that stuff, but teach them how to heal themselves, healing. The martial arts, you learn how to fight, but then the higher levels is healing. You become a healer. So I decided, I'm going to do a seminars and starting with the water, because the water is one of the most simplest decisions that you can make to better your health.
Yes. It was a simple thing. So in the seminar, he suggests that out of all these water, that distilled water is the best water to drink. And he laid out all these pros and what distilled water does. And let's discuss all the pros. What is distilled water?
Okay, I think this distilled water is nature's way to cleanse the planet. The planet, if it wasn't for the rain, we couldn't breathe the air, because the air is cleansed, okay, of all the particles, the dust particles from the rain. Mm-hmm. So the rain is the purest thing on earth is distilled water, rainwater. It's the purest element in our world. So what happens is the distillation process starts with the sun. The sun is responsible for the rain. If there was no sun, there would be no rain. Why? Because the sun heats up the bodies of water. It could be a lake, it could be the ocean, it could be different bodies of water. Then when it heats up, it becomes steam. It goes up in the sky, and when you look up and you see a cloud, that's water. Yeah. Floating up in the air. Okay, it's the clouds. When the clouds get pregnant and they can't handle no more, then there's a change in temperature and it comes back as rain.
As rain. That's correct.
So the rain is actually vapor water. But what happens is, that's why the plants, as soon as it rains, okay, you can put the sprinkler system, the municipal water, and the plants don't grow. As soon as it rains, because it's pure hydrogen, oxygen, okay? And when the plants absorb, it makes them grow amazing. So this distillation process, okay, is nature's way to cleanse and to feed the earth. Now, if we're smart, we look at nature and we learn from it and go, well, if that's the way nature feeds, why don't we do the same thing?
Exactly. And it is during your seminar that you were telling me these things, and it started making sense to me. You also told me that, even in batteries, when you have a battery, you have to put what in it? Distilled water. If you put anything else that's not distilled water, the battery will corrode and it will fall apart.
The same thing with the iron. The iron, you got to put distilled water. If you don't put distilled water, it'll
get all clogged up and it won't steam anymore.
Exactly.
In the medical field, they use distilled water because it's pure, it's clean, it has no chemicals, it has no minerals, it has no fluoride in there. It has nothing. It's pure H2O. Distilled water is the purest of the waters of all waters, because there's nothing in there but hydrogen and oxygen. Yeah. And everything else is out of it.
And think about it. Our bodies are like, it's a series of tubes. Your arteries, your veins, your skin, everything is like a sponge. Okay. And what happens is, when we don't eat natural foods, when we don't drink the kind of water, it clogs up your system. And that's what the health problems start coming in. Huh?
Great. Well, that's kind of where I was in my life. I was 48 years old, super low energy.
Damn, you look so good now. Look at you, look so young.
I'm 40 now.
What a handsome guy. Look at this guy. He's 40 years old. He looks younger.
Well, now I'm 52. So that was 4 years ago. So,
and now I'm 66. 66 years old. I can't believe it. I feel like freaking 30 years old, man.
So at that point, yeah. So I'm listening to you, and you're talking about water. It's like, and you just said, stop drinking this water and start drinking this water. And that's it? Yeah, that's it. It's like, well, that doesn't seem very difficult, I don't know. At that point in my life, I wasn't even drinking water. I was just drinking alcohol, mostly.
You got to talk about that, because you know what?
We'll talk about that maybe on another podcast.
That's such a good story that you must say that one. Okay, go ahead.
So basically, all I had to do was just stop drinking this and drink this. It wasn't a special diet. It wasn't I had to do this. I didn't have to like go jogging around the house, go to the gym. It's like stop drinking this and start drinking this water. That's it.
Because it's the first step. It's the first step in order to go on the holistic path, to go into the health and the pure water. It's the most essential thing you got to do. It's number one.
Well, it takes no effort. I have to drink something every day, right?
Yeah.
I have to drink something every day. So the only thing I was doing was, okay, well, Master told me to drink, distilled water, so let me try it. After that night, I went straight to Publix and I picked up a couple of gallons of distilled water. And in the morning, I started drinking. So, I poured onto a glass, and I drank my first glass. I drank a second one. And like within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it's like, man, I gotta pee. I drank a lot of water, so, I gotta pee. I kept drinking and I kept peeing. I kept drinking and peeing. I'm like peeing all day. I'm thinking, wow, I guess I'm drinking a lot of water. I guess I gotta pee. So I went to bed. The second day, I started again drinking my water. And again, I'm going to the bathroom.
And you know what? And that's something that some people go, but I'm peeing like crazy. What? Because you're flushing. And at the beginning, you're going to go to the bathroom 24/7. As a matter of fact, you got to have a bottle in the car because you're driving. and you got to pee somewhere because it's nonstop.
Well, I'll tell you what. On the second day, I don't know if you remember the conversation. On the second day, I called him up and I said, hey, I've been drinking this water. It's my second day. And I physically feel like something is happening to my body. I can't describe it, but I feel like a little tingling. I don't know. And I'm peeing all the time. I can't stop peeing. Like, what's going on? It's like, listen, don't worry about that. Just keep drinking the water and just keep going. It's like, yeah, but it's like, don't worry. Just you're flushing. You're just starting to flush. Like,
I mean, think about it yourself.
All right.
Most people, 99% of the people out there, they're dehydrated. They have the cells. Think of the cell as like a tire of a car, okay? And when the tire is flat, that wheel cannot turn, right? So your cells are circular, okay? So when the cell don't have the water, they shrivel up like a little prune, and they're not as effective movement. So once you hydrate that cell, it takes about, how long we say it takes to hydrate your whole body? Like a month?
Well, as you can tell by my story, it took 3.5 months for me to completely and hydrate and cleanse my body with distilled water. 3.5 months.
Yeah, I mean,
that was my story.
Those cells, at least it takes at least minimum a month for those cells to start going back to the original size, okay? And when that happens, they start vibrating. And when you start, that's where you feel that energy. You go, wow, this feels so much energy. And the reason why I decided to do the seminars, because when I would go to the lobby at my school, I would say, hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, how you doing? And all the women would say, I'm so tired. I'm tired. And I'm going, everybody's tired. Everywhere, people are exhausted. Why?
No energy.
Because they don't have no water. Water creates energy. Huh? Electricity.
Well, I'm telling you, by the third day, I guess my cells started now to hydrate. And so my cells went from this, like, I guess, like a low vibration. That's why I was tired, because I wasn't vibrating. So all of a sudden, it started like to hydrate. My cells started like moving like this.
Yeah.
But not one cell, all the trillions of cells in my body started vibrating. So I'm feeling this vibration all over my body, which I haven't felt like I don't know. I never felt this vibrational feeling that was going through my body. And it was basically the cells of my body coming alive. I was becoming alive again.
It's like a plant. It's like a plant when it's shriveled up and they have to get, and you give it water. Within a couple hours, you see it get plumped up. And you know, I have a plant here, and I can tell when it needs water because they shrivel up. I put water, right away, it becomes alive.
This is no joke. I mean, this is not like, this is my testimony. This is what was happening to me. I felt this vibration. Within a week, I was just like, whoa, bro. And I remember peeing in the mornings, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, because, I mean, even I would wake up every 2 hours because I had to go pee because I was flushing. And I remember peeing at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm peeing, and I feel this feeling all over my body as I'm peeing. And it's like, what is going on with me?
And check this out.
But it wasn't, it wasn't like a scary feeling, or it wasn't like, you know, a terrible feeling. It was just like, wow, this is so amazing what's going on.
And imagine what it does to the prostate. What it does for people that are impotent. Because think about it. Impotent person has low blood flow to the prostate. As soon as you start urinating and you start cleansing the prostate, guess what? Definitely your sex life will get better because you especially for older men, you know, there's a problem in America. It's a lot impotent people. Okay, the older they get, you know, they have problems. Why? The prostate gets clogged up. Yeah. And when you do that, you go back to being young again.
Yeah. So when my body started like vibrating and getting this energy back and whatnot, I'm talking to him. It's like, listen, man, this is some serious stuff going on here, because this is like I'm feeling like really like energized. I was still overweight. I was still eating crappy foods. I was still doing all the regular stuff that in my diet. All I did was stop drinking this water, and I started drinking this water. And within a week, I'm like, whoa, man, this is like crazy. I'm telling my wife, I'm telling my friends, like, dude, what are you doing? Like, dude, I'm drinking this distilled water. You gotta try it out. And everybody's looking at me like I'm an alien. Like, what do you mean distilled water? And then everybody's like, no, don't drink distilled water. Distilled water's bad for you. It's like, well, I don't know if it's bad for me or not, man, but I feel pretty good. Yeah, because if you drink distilled water, you're not gonna have any more minerals in your pick, because there's all the minerals in this, and now you're not drinking. It's like, what? No.
But think about it. Yes, it's true. It's true. Distilled water takes your minerals away from you, for sure.
It is.
Yeah, but the thing is that
but
the minerals that it takes away.
Tell the whole truth. You gotta explain the whole truth.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the minerals that take away are not the organic minerals. It's the inorganic minerals that it takes away. Yes, it does take, and they call it dead water because it's so clear, it's so clean, and it does remove all the impurities from your body.
Yes.
Okay? So when it does that, your blood pressure, everything gets better. Because your blood is made out of water. And the purer the water is, the purer your blood is, and the easier it is to filter to your kidneys.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I was feeling. That's what I was drinking this water, and it was hydrating myself, but at the same time, it was pulling all the inorganics, all the toxins, all the crap out of my system. That's why I was peeing. I literally telling you, I was peeing every 10 to 15 minutes, all day, all night.
And
like that. It got to a point where it was super annoying, but I was feeling like, man, I feeling good. my body was alive again. So
when did you start peeing so much? Did it come to a point that you stopped, that it went normal?
yes, after I completely hydrated my body and I completely, I guess,
Flushed.
I flushed all the inorganics and toxins and crap out of my system. 3 months it took my body, because that's how bad my body was. For me, it took me 3 months and about a week, 3 months and a half to all of a sudden start peeing 3 days or 3 times, 3, maybe 4 times a day. So I would pee in the morning, pee after lunch, pee after dinner, and like a normal person.
It could get annoying peeing 24/7. It's like nonstop. It's like, no, you gotta go. But that is part of the cleansing process. Part of the cleansing process is going through that.
And also each person is going to be different. Like for me, it took 3 months, but I had a lot of toxins, a lot of crap. I was completely dehydrated. My alcohol drinking it got to a point where it completely dehydrated my body. So when
alcohol does. The people that drinkers alcohol, they don't have hydration.
No, not at all. So by doing that, it completely just brought my life back. Now, what happened to me in those 3 months, I remember like 3 weeks in, I'm in the house drinking this water, and so now I'm vibrating. I got this energy. I'm just sitting there at the house like, I don't know what to do with myself. I needed to do something. And I looked around, and it's like, well, I started cleaning the house. I mean, literally, I started cleaning the whole entire house and cleaning. My wife, like, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know, I gotta do something. I gotta clean. I just can't sit there and watch TV. I gotta do something.
I gotta exercise, right?
And I just started cleaning because I had this energy. So the energy was telling me to do something. I didn't know what to do, so I started cleaning. I cleaned the house. And it was just like, I was still like, I go outside, I looked outside, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna do some yard work. And I spent that day cleaning the house and 3 hours of cleaning the brushes, and I spent 3 hours of lawn work.
Why do people don't work out? Because they don't have no energy. If you don't have no energy, you can't exercise. How are you gonna exercise when you're exhausted? Huh?
To kind of finish this story, the next morning when I woke up, I go, oh man, I know I'm gonna be sore and tired because I haven't exercised or done anything in years. And I thought, man, after all that work I did yesterday and doing lawn work, I was gonna feel like oh, my back. Or I woke up, like, what?
Why? Why is that?
I have no idea why. So
I'm gonna tell you.
I call him up and I said,
lactic acid in you.
That's what he told me. He's like, I called him. He's like, listen, I just busted my butt
because
all
water neutralizes acids. Water neutralizes acids.
And that's what it was. The next morning, I did not wake up sore. And I was like, wait, I used to work out a lot. I ran, I was in sports. I know what soreness is. I know that if you don't do anything for a long period of time and you start doing something, the next day you're going to get sore. Your muscles are sore. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen, dude. That did not happen. I was just like blown away. I'm thinking, water? What? Well, I nicknamed it energy water. To me, that's energy water. In my house, my son calls it energy water. What are you drinking? Energy water. Because it's the energy that brought my life back.
But now, what did it do spiritually to yourself? Because what happens is when you drink this pure water, what does it do to your brain? What does it do to your mental clarity? What does it do to your pineal gland, to your spiritual gland that connects you to the cosmic forces of our universe?
Well, at that time, you were talking to me about that stuff, and it was like I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. I just drinking this water and it feels good, and I got my energy back. But when you cleanse your body, you're not cleansing just your liver or your organs. That's what you think. But I was cleaning my brain.
And you're awakening your conscious.
I was cleaning my brain so I could think clearly. I could process information. I could, not be clouded anymore. And I was like thinking clearly. I was able to think clearly for at work. I'm talking to my wife. I was like clearer in my thinking because everything was being flushed. Everything was being cleaned.
You know how many bad decisions people make? You know how many things? This world is so messed up because people don't think clearly. There's no mental clarity. And mental clarity comes from cleansing and purification. When you purify your body, when you purify your mind gets purified. Your spiritual essence gets purified. So when that happens, you're more aware of your actions and your decisions become more correct.
Absolutely. And what I didn't realize was in the time that I was during the beginning, since I was strictly just drinking distilled water, that means I wasn't taking in any more fluoride. I wasn't taking in any more chemicals. I wasn't taking in all the inorganics. I wasn't taking all those things. As a matter of fact, all those things that I had in my system was being flushed out without me reintroducing it. Right? So I was able to flush all that out.
Yeah, but let's talk about something very important that people do every day that's very toxic. And number one is take showers or baths with chlorinated water, with the tap water from municipal water. So it has chemicals and chlorine that destroys your hair, okay? Your skin dries it up. Everybody's always putting creams and stuff like that. So all this water, it just strips away your natural oils. Your hair becomes brittle, and it's very toxic. And and
Chlorine,
you gotta drink the correct water, but also you gotta bathe in the correct water and clean yourself because people to clean their skin, they use all these soaps and chemicals and shampoos that take away your oils that protect you in your hands. You need oils in your hands.
It's all chemical based. So as I was drinking the distilled water, instead of me buying distilled water I bought myself a distiller. So I bought a distiller at the house, and I distilled my own water. So I get tap water, I put it in my distiller, and it makes 1 gallon. My distiller does it can make up to 4 gallons a day. I don't do 4 gallons because my household needs are about 2 gallons a day.
When you get into it, is you buy an automatic distiller that can distill, so you can have readily at your disposal 8 to 10 gallons of water, and as you use the water, it keeps making it. And they're more expensive. They're like $1,500, $2,000. But you can get like a small distiller. You can buy them online. But I want to give props to Waterwise. No, let me say, Waterwise is a company that I don't get no commission, but they do good work because they've been in business for over 40 years and they make great distillers. And my first distiller, I bought it like almost 30 years ago, and I bought it from Waterwise, and it's still working. And let's look at a distiller here. Let's explain what this is. This is a water distiller. I bought this online. And what you do is you open it up and you put the water inside. And then what it does, it boils to 212 degrees, steams, goes through this little hole here, and then you have a fan that cools it. It cools the vapor, so then it comes out through the spout into pure distilled water. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but my wife just cleaned it. But normally, when you don't clean this, after a couple gallons, you see like residue, chemicals, all kinds of things left inside, which you got to clean because that's part of so you can make pure water. But this is a basic distiller. It makes 1 gallon every 3 hours. And this is a good start. Once you get into it, if you need more water, then you buy the automatic one.
I have one similar to this one, so it's just about 1 gallon at a time. And the very first time I distilled my own water, so I put in, tap water, and I distilled it. And the moment that I opened it up, the stench of what's in tap water.
What did it smell like?
Man,
like chemicals or something?
Like a chemical crap.
It's like a sludge, right? It's like a
sludge.
It's like a
terrible.
brown, gray,
Yeah.
disgusting.
And then there's always a little bit of residue left over, and that's all the garbage. And as you pour out that, and it's like a yellowish brown
And
color.
think about it. That is going into your system, okay?
And that's only 1 gallon.
Imagine to your system, to your lifetime, you're gonna consume over 15,000 gallons of water. So imagine what kind of residue it leaves you when you're 60, 70, 80 years old.
Well,
That's why you see old people, they're walking like they're calcified. Their bodies are like rocks. There's no flexibility. Why? Because of the buildup.
because of all the chemical buildup. But the thing is that what I did was not only was I drinking the water, but if I was gonna make rice, guess what water I used? Distilled water. If I was gonna do a soup, guess what water I used? Distilled water.
Now,
if I was gonna do
does it taste different?
Absolutely.
For sure. If you make beans,
Oh my God! You get the true essence of the bean. The true flavor of the bean.
Oh, it's a big difference.
Yo, everything. For anything, the ice.
Tea. You make tea?
My coffee, distilled water.
Yeah.
If I was using the ice maker, I was getting a little trace of ice and using distilled water to make my ice.
Yeah.
I really because once I saw what was in there, once I saw what tap water contains, I want no part of it.
Now, this little device here is called a Tds Meter. You can buy it on Amazon. I think it's like $15. And this, you can tell how pure your water is. And I'm gonna do a little test here. Over here, I got some distilled water, and I got some water from the tap. In my house, I have a well, and I have also a water softener on my well, and I use that not to drink. I use that to bathe, okay. And to drink, I have my distiller. So the way it works, it tells you how much contaminants the water has. Right now, pure water is 0.00 parts per million. That's pure. But let's test this one here. It has 206, 270, 280. Wow. Keeps going up. Look at this. Damn. This water has a lot of contaminants. Listen to this.
What's it showing?
411 parts per million. This water, if you drink this water for the rest of your life, you'll be sick. You'll be calcified. Has a lot of contaminants. Okay. Normally, tap water for the municipal, it usually has like 250 parts per million. But well water has more because it comes from the ground. Now, let's see some distilled. This one here, I gotta clean the machine, has 5,005 parts per million.
0.005?
Yeah, that's virtually, it's very pure.
Okay. Well, probably because you had that one in there first and then you didn't clean it down.
Probably. But anyway, the distilled water, if you buy this little meter, it's cheap. You can have it, and you can test the water, and you can see when it's 000, that means that's the water you want to drink. Let me take a sip. It goes down smooth. At the beginning, it's gonna taste different because you're used to the other water. But after a while, Once you get used to doing this and you drink any kind of water, you can tell the difference. Immediately, you go, oh, no, no.
My wife can't drink water anywhere else. I mean, anywhere, like even bottled water. Like I'll get bottled and I taste it, it's like, it's not the same. Listen, I was feeling so good and I was so like transformed, and my body was transforming in those 3 months that I was peeing and whatnot. I bought a distiller from my parents, and I bought a distiller from my.
You wanted to buy a distiller for the whole world.
I did. I started buying distillers. I bought one from my parents and from my in-laws.
Even my father-in-law, he's just skeptical. I bought him a distiller, and when he saw what was in the water, he started drinking distilled water. And he's a skeptical guy.
I'll tell you what, my in-laws is this wonderful story. Because my wife's grandmother, who's still alive, was living at that house, and she had really bad arthritis. I mean, she would drink a lot of aspirins and Advil because of her arthritis, and she would probably go through a big bottle a month because she's constantly popping. I got the distilled water, and they were drinking it, and her grandma was also drinking it, and little by little, she kept drinking more and more, and like a month later, my father-in-law calls me. He's like, hey, this water's been really helping me out, but mostly for Abuela Blanca. Abuela Blanca is like, she says she doesn't need to take her aspirins anymore. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, she's not. She hasn't drank any aspirin or had to buy any more aspirin because she says that she has no more pain. She feels better, and all she wants to do is just drink that water.
It's amazing. I mean, something
true story.
It's something.
Yeah.
Nature is miraculous. We take things for granted, and I used to, in the past, I would go when it rained, oh, what an ugly day. Oh, it's a terrible day raining. Now, when it rains, I look at it like, wow, what a fantastic day. The earth is getting cleansed. The air is getting clean. The life is coming back, Instead of looking at a negative thing, I look at rain. Rain is a blessing, okay? And when I go outside in the rain, when I get drenched with water, I feel like I've been blessed by heaven. It's like going to a church and being blessed by the Almighty.
Man, listen, you're absolutely right. If you're observative enough, and you are out looking at the days that are raining, notice how here in Florida and Miami, we have lakes and rivers and pools everywhere.
The Everglades.
Everywhere. The moment it rains and it stops raining, you're gonna see all the birds drinking rainwater. And when it's not raining, you don't see them drinking water from the lakes or from the rivers and from that. They do not. The moment it rains, you see them all go out there to the puddles and they're drinking that rainwater.
Now, I gotta tell you the story.
Why is that?
Because nature is smart, intelligent.
They know.
They know instinctively. Oh, I gotta tell you a story. My dog had cataracts. I have a dog that's 15 years old and had cataracts. He couldn't see, he was going blind. So I take him to the vet. Guess what the vet told me? He says, well, if you give your dog distilled water, the cataracts will go away. The vet told me that. I say, wait a minute. If it works for a dog, it's gonna work for a human. And let me tell you something. I'm 65 years old and I'm gonna be 66 August, and I don't wear glasses. I have 20/20 vision. Okay? Yes, I don't wear glasses. Why? Because what is a cataract? A cataract is a film of inorganic minerals. Okay? So as you strip away with the drink of the water, your eyes become clear and your eyesight and your eyes shine bright, and the whiteness of your eyes are white as can be. That, and I get that compliment always. They tell me, "Man, your white of your eyes is so white, and your eyes are so clear," because that distilled water, it's amazing.
It's a cleanser. It's a detoxifier. It's a hydrator. It gives your cells life again, and it vibrates how it's supposed to vibrate.
Yeah.
See, when you're young and you're a child, and you see them running around with energy all day, and just like, well, I'll tell you what, I am 52 years old now, and I put my son to sleep, because I don't stop until he says, "Papi, I'm tired." Okay, now we can go.
Yeah.
Before, I would even go outside and start playing, because I just got back from work, I've been working all day. I know, I'm watching TV.
You know how many kids don't get, the parents don't play with them because they're so tired? And, this world is full of tired people. And how much more productive can you be? How much things you can get done? How much more money you can make? Okay, if you have more energy. Because reality, your value is your energy. And if you have a lot of energy, you can do a lot of things. You can do things. You can climb mountains. You can go hiking. You can go riding bicycle. You can do so many things when you have the energy. As soon as you dissipate your energy, you're not worth nothing.
Well,
you see little old people in their wheelchairs. Yeah. They're sitting down in the homes. They can't move. They have no energy. They're done.
When I got my energy back, I had the will to do the things, and I was able to accomplish the things I wanted to do. Just like that story I told you that when I was home, I needed to clean the house. Well, a couple of weeks later after that, or a week later, I was at the house. Everything's cleaned already, but I had to do something with my energy. I haven't worked out or done any type of physical, work or anything like that. I just had this incredible urge to go running. I'm not a runner. I never was a runner. I don't do marathons. I do none of that crazy. And I was home with I had to run. So I got my sneakers, I put them on, and I ran around the block.
And that's why kids, there has so much energy because they haven't been polluted yet. They haven't been. By the time they get like 15, 16, 20, that's it. They're done. They're done. All the sodas, all the junk.
But it was crazy. And then that day, I ran around the block. But of course, I haven't done any exercise, so I ran once. But the next day, I wanted to run again. So I ran again. Now I ran twice. And I just wanted to run. I had energy to run. And I wasn't tired. I wasn't sore. So I wanted to run, and I wanted to run. And then, I wanted to do some push-ups. I started doing push-ups because the energy allowed me to do those things. And I had energy again to do it again.
And what does energy?
I had energy again.
And what does energy do for you? It attracts people. It attracts more business. It attracts more money. Because the more energy you have, energy attracts energy. Depression attracts depression. Sickness attracts sickness. Vitality attracts good blessings to your life.
Once I had that energy and I was like this and that, man, I was so curious. I was just so overwhelmed how amazing I was feeling. I was telling all my friends. Some friends looked at me like if I was an alien, like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, dude, trust me, just like, nobody wanted to do what I was doing. I was kind of like doing it on my own. People are funny. They're just like, I don't know. They just don't want to.
You can't, listen.
Yeah.
You can't tell people what to do,
Listen,
we do this video, this information, and it's up to you to, if you're curious enough and you investigate and you want to better yourself, all you gotta do is try it. If it doesn't work out,
all I gotta tell you is, don't ever take anybody's advice. Do it, and once you did it, now you have the experience to say, yeah, it was good, or yeah, it was not good. But until you don't try something, you have no opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is, most people's knowledge is from books and it's not from experience, because
it's not from experience.
The best the wisdom comes from experience, or you
course,
doing it. That's called wisdom. Is real experience, doing it and being an example, and most knowledge is somebody said something, but you really never tried it.
No.
You know?
I'm telling you, I remember the first time that after I drank, I was drinking the distilled water, I was feeling good. I had consciously made a decision not to drink anymore. And it was my nephew's 21st birthday. And we went to a bar. And I had my distilled water in the car because I'm just drinking everywhere. And I was just feeling good, you know. I was just like, man, I was talking. I was just on a great high. And I get to the bar, everybody's there, and, you know, a social event. And it's like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. I'll have a beer. I'll hang out. I had like 2 or 3 beers. And immediately I went from, and my energy went like, into like, and I went like, oh, well, I just screwed that up.
Well, think about it. What do people drink?
But what I'm saying is that I felt immediately like, wow, I just screwed up. I was feeling so good, and now I'm in like this little like weird, you know, I'm back into my old days. It's like, wow, man, I totally screwed up.
Now, do you think that alcoholism or people who drink a lot, because you said you drank a lot, right?
I drank a lot.
You drink a lot. You say that when you started cleansing your body and drinking this, your desire for alcohol went away?
Well, it went away because I liked the feeling of the energy that I was having. I was energetic again. I wanted to do things. I had the energy to do things. But not just one day, it was every single day, day in and day out, I had energy to go running, to go play with my kids, to go to be at work, to clean the house. I was cooking. I was doing all these cool stuff. And the great thing about this energy, it's not like energy like when you drink coffee where you're kind of like this, or you have an energy drink and you're kind of like wired.
Those are stimulants.
No, it wasn't that. It was pure, clean energy, like a child's energy, and it felt good. And when it was time to sleep, it was amazing because when I was like finished doing everything, I'm like, and let's go to bed. As soon as I would go to bed, boom, lights out, and I will fall asleep within 5 minutes.
Now, how much water do you need for your system to work? You need 1 gallon of water a day, minimum. The very least, half a gallon. But in order for this to work,
You gotta drink water.
you need 1 gallon.
You gotta flush out the system.
1 gallon a day.
You gotta flush
You
it.
think about it. You know, in the pool, my pool, I have a pool, right? That pool loses half an inch every day of water.
Evaporates.
Okay? And then you have to put water back. Your body loses water. You sweat.
Yeah.
The sweat evaporates. So you constantly losing water. You're urinating, you're pooping. You gotta replenish that water.
Every time you breathe out water.
And also, but you need 1 gallon.
Yeah.
It's not eight glasses of water like, you know, like people, how much 8 glasses of water? 8-ounce glasses.
No.
That's 64 ounces, that's a half a gallon.
Half a gallon.
But no, you need a gallon. And at the beginning, it's hard to drink a gallon, but you could drink it throughout the day, you know?
Well, you know what makes it easier for me to drink a gallon of water is when I'm drinking it room temperature. I noticed that drinking it room temperature, I could drink a lot more water than drinking it cold.
No, but that's how you should drink anything. It should be room temperature. It should be, you don't want to shock your body with ice cold water.
Yeah.
You know, your body has a certain temperature. If you put something cold, it shocks it.
I drink everything room temperature and
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
and it just goes down and
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And I'm telling you, if ask yourself this question. If I have all the energy in the world, what would you do? In other words, if you have energy, I mean, if you could wake up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning, Because for whatever crazy reason, when your body is
you will get up early,
and you have energy.
You'll get up.
For whatever crazy reason, 4 o'clock in the morning is the time to wake up.
Or 5 o'clock, you want to wake, like, and everybody's sleeping around and going, well, I better go back to bed because everybody's.
It's crazy. You just wake up early, right?
You get up, you start working. You get up early because.
And you wake up early because not because you were thinking or because you were I got work. No, you wake up because your sleep is done, your body's recuperated, and you're ready for your day.
Yeah.
So if you have that type of energy, all the way until the time you decide to go to bed, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, what are you going to do? Are you going to read a book? Are you going to maybe not read a book? Are you going to write a book? Because you have the energy to write a book. Do you have energy to become a coach for your team or for your local team? Are you going to join a church group? Are you going to join? Are you going to donate your time? What are you going to do with all that energy? You got to do something with it, and that's when you start becoming a good human being. You start becoming. That
is your birthright. That is your essence, your life force. Your life force. You're born with this life force, and the spark of life. You wanna keep it always at a high level. You don't wanna dissipate your life. Yeah?
I was cleaning the house because I had to do something, but my wife was super happy. I was cooking and doing things, not because I was trying to show off to everybody, because I had the energy to do something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm making my life better. I'm making the life people around me better.
Raul is a great testimonial here of somebody that took the information and ran with it. There's a lot of people that the light is given to them, but they don't do nothing about it. See, without action, nothing's gonna happen. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but you gotta put it to use in order to make it happen. So,
I never forget the day you told me, once you start this one thing, you're gonna do other things. I'm like, listen, all I want is just some energy. I'm not here to be preached at. I just want to just get a little energy so I can play with my kid and I could just feel better for myself. But one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
Because if I'm feeling great and I was feeling good,
and then you start making other changes, right? Like now you're more aware of the foods that you're eating. You're gonna go, hey, let me eat healthier. Hey, wait a minute. Now I got this energy. I want to exercise.
Yes.
Hey, wait a minute. Then you start getting to the health.
Yes.
And then you start getting into the health. And then what happens is you start getting into the health and you start improving yourself.
Well, it's like, well, for me, my curiosity really started kicking in. Because, okay, all I did was drink water. And that led me to get some energy, so I started doing other things.
Yeah.
So my energy went from here to about here. And I thought this was the best energy that I can get. Mm-hmm. But then, talking to you, it's like, well, if you start eating better,
if you
start eating better, your energy could go a little bit higher.
Or if you go if you fast and
if
you do
you
this and
if
you
you
do
lose
that.
a little weight, your energy will be even higher. If you start fasting, it's not even higher. If you do this type of cleanse and clean your liver, and that, your energy will be higher. Like, really, I could go all the way up to here? Man, I'm like freaking great right now. I was like, yeah, but you could be better. I like the idea of being better. So I just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And as you grow energetically with physical body, some amazing things starts happening up here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna leave that for another day.
Yeah. I think we had a great talk, great conversation. I want to thank Raul for coming over here and sharing his testimonial and talking enthusiastically about his transformation. And if you got any questions, write to me in the comments. I want to thank you for watching and supporting my channel, Bushido Mindset Podcast. Tell your friends about it. Because, we're going to spread the word, spread the good message. for others. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic life.